Hello, welcome to Reframing Mindset Podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity and practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, now so welcome back to Reframe Mindset Podcast. You know, it's a night recording again, bro. Night recording again. Like, yo, it's I can't control it. I can't control it. Like, it's going. What I'm going to talk about relates legit to the to the topic. Like, back in the days, I usually wish for things to be going on in my life. Now things are going on in my life, and so basically my schedule is always off. So record this podcast always early, end up on a night most times, and it's because, as I said, if you realize a couple of episodes back, is me trying to deal with this home that I'm at now. you know, trying to get it right, and bro, it's a lot of problem that is coming up, and then other stuff outside after that. So basically, all those things is coming up. But basically, this topic is going to talk about make the most of the opportunities you're given. And it's a thing that like this whole coronavirus pandemic. That was one of the things that I actually took advantage of more. With life and death on the line. Where basically every day you don't know if you were living or dying. Mhm. Yeah. So with that. But before, like when I just went to school and that, it was not really something I really dealt deal with because I went to school to do school, school. I never really did anything to do. I was on a science journey. I never really was on anything else. But what happened was, and the way certain things came, so certain opportunities came to me that I guess I couldn't avoid. Like it was for to me looking back, it was forced onto me then. Like for example, joining a basketball team. If it wasn't for the record extracurricular, I wouldn't even attempt to actually try to join the basketball team. But that came up. I did my thing, and and it really helped me in some ways. And then in the university now, if you listen to the podcast from the early stage, if you're one of those early fans, you'd have known about my hall experience on the university, my hall experience. And eh, you'd have known from when I was on the hall, I become the domestic affairs chairman. And in the third year, I was doing something. I became the treasurer on the cluster that I lived on, which helped us to um got us to go on our first trip. And then also I was doing some radio thing on the hall. So basically those were other stuff. But as I said, my main journey was a science journey. That was the journey. But all those things come together. And all those things, while it it never really helped me in the sense that right now I guess all those things that I learned I've been applying somewhat in my life. So I'm grateful for those things. But those are opportunities that I guess were forced onto me. But the opportunity that I'm talking about now, I you know like for example, let's let's talk about it. For example, at my university, back when I was in university, there was this pool we had. Now the university had a pool, and this was the like legit from growing up. Probably the last time I went to a beach, I've never dipped in the water for like when I was younger. I never dipped in the water throughout school until well outside when I'm going showering and taking a shower and whatnot. But I know until I reached university, we had this pool, and I was there for 3 years. For the first year, due to the drought that we had, we never the pool wasn't available. But second and third year, the pool was available, and I went and I could count on one hand how many times I went to the pool. And you know, one of the things that the pool when the pool came back, when the water was actually there was this program where basically a person was teaching people how to swim there, and one of my um, roommates actually took the opportunity to actually go there and learn to swim, and now he's doing a certain business, and that swimming thing kind of really came in handy for him, but I never really took the opportunity because it was one of those opportunities where I never see. It was one of those opportunities where I could choose to do it. Like it wasn't forced onto me where like I said, all the other opportunities where I basically say, oh, it was basically forced onto me. Like I couldn't really avoid it. This was one of the one I could choose to do or not do that I didn't do. And now, in touring the real world, see so many water places and I couldn't really enjoy it fully due to the fact that I couldn't swim. So that was like one of the opportunities that if I took it right there, if I took the opportunity right there, I could have really have a more fruitful experience in a lot of places. Like legit, the fact that I couldn't swim is the reason why like legit many experiences are locked away from me. And I guess one day that's one of the goals that I'm maybe try to do, get to learn how to swim. If I get the chance. Mhm. So that was the reason why I never really took up that opportunity because, but then I was really a procrastinator and my time management skill was terrible. So because I said I was on my science journey, so my time is usually filled because at the university my courses were very hard and hard, but I was pretty lazy back then. So while if I actually took the time took studying seriously and time management seriously, maybe I could squeeze in time to actually do some swimming. But I was pretty lazy back then. So that was an opportunity that if I took it, it will majorly improve my life. So that's one of those. That's the thing that I'm talking about. Where basically, if you just sometimes you get some opportunity, if you just take that opportunity, can really broaden your life a lot. The next thing, another example was basically, recently I did an interview for a place that was kind of in my field, and what I realized was, you know, my ability to really, we call it, to to see how much I've grasped the science that I've learned was shown in this interview because it was near science field, and it showed how much this corona thing kind of really impacted the way how I grasped the science. Like when I left the university, I knew the knowledge, but I never really know how to really apply it and such like that. So if I really got that science interview, but then I would basically like to have to SWAT and relearn all the stuff that I learned to really go there but now I kind of know it organically, and it's through you know my time to actually take really seeing. I think first thing I think is me taking the opportunity to actually start this podcast. So that's the first thing. So I took the risk, start this podcast, and it was a hell of a risk, like legit do or life or death kind of risk. But now I'm alive, and now I'm still alive, And it this podcast kind of really just helped me to develop my communication skills better because I was pretty terrible at communicating now. So what the podcast kind of really did for me was basically allow me to better co- coherently come with my points and arguments and able to explain things better. And you can maybe see throughout some of the episode where basically my ability to explain certain things get better. We're still struggling, but after some episodes you can really get the point. Some episodes you be like, so that's basically it. But that this practice really reflected in the interview where basically I knew what I was talking about, and the interviewer really see that I actually knew what I was talking about, and it's like, she was impressed with the fact that I said, the person that was impressed was like she was the one that did with the lab, not really the HR people. The HR people was asking basic questions, and I was pretty doing well. But when I actually went to the lab section and deal with the quality person, the person that deal with the lab herself, and started talking to her, she's like, "Yo, you know your thing, man. You know your thing, and you feel passionate and you're not happy about the science and such like that, and feel like you could get a job here." Resume is like, yeah. The only thing that she had an issue with, I guess, with a lot of people have an issue this the next thing in the company thing, in the workplace, this teamwork thing. Like people, it's really hard to really communicate about that. I'm a really good team player, but it's just that my kind of team plays. I do what it takes to get you to win. That that's my team play. But people can't really understand that because everybody wants to play like a team, teamwork and such like that. But people don't. It's like by it's like when what I've realized is that in the workplace when people talk about teamwork, it's not about getting the job done. It's about having fun. It's not getting the job done. So it's like really hard to communicate that. I'm not really there to have fun. I'm ready to get job done and get paid. But the workplace don't really like to hear that. So I guess I have to work on that. I'm not work on that. And that's through me taking that opportunity to really understand, to see the changes in myself, to say, okay, I know how to really apply myself. I like that opportunity really showed me that okay, I'm ready to get a job. I'm ready to get a job in the science field. And that opportunity really came from me um recall it. What would I say? Like it would take for me just going back to the drawing board and really change up my strategy in job hunting. And I actually went to someone that was a specialist in the field and actually let them do it. And that's how I got that opportunity in my field. So to actually get at them to actually get the job there. And thanks to that, actually got the opportunity to see that okay, I'm ready for the job in the field. Even though I never got back in the call, but I just need the confirmation there. The next thing was basically on my what do you call it, my driver's license journey. Well, after I got the license, I never really have any money to really drive or rent cars such like that. But I was basically stuck at the area due to the corona lockdowns and all those stuff. But what I did was I took the time to really explore the place, and that's something that I never really actually do through my school days and what. I never really explored. I kind of did, but I never really explored and really experienced some places, and that's the one of the things that the coronavirus pandemic really got me to really appreciate the days that I have made the most of it. I really enjoyed everything, and so that's that I think that's one of the reasons why this topic really came to me. Like really acknowledge the fact that you might die really make you appreciate life more and want to experience everything. So certain places that I went to, I wouldn't know that they were free to enter if I never really actually took the opportunity to try to go there and then realize that oh, this place is actually free to enter. I am free to enter and experience all the goodness about it. So that's so those are the kind of opportunities I'm talking about where there's a lot of things that you can really get to experience, but because you're locked in, you don't really take the chance or take a certain opportunity to see what, and that opportunity can be the thing that basically change your life. Mhm. So that's basically how this small episode is going. Um, I guess one last thing about it would be like when I was at university. The university have this health card thing where basically with the health card it's like insurance when you went to the university. So the thing is like you pay the tuition. And those are the things, miscellaneous things that you get. So access to the pool was one of the things that you were paying for. The health card was another thing that you were paying for. And basically with the health card you get the free dental, medical checkup and such like that. And I took the advantage there to actually do the dental, and I think that was one of the reasons why my teeth was so strong. Took advantage of the free dental and such like that. But those are the things that I'm talking about. Like legit, you go to a place to do one thing, but there's a lot of opportunities there also that one thing that you can take advantage of, and you can just go there and do more than one stuff. Like for example again, the last few episodes here, we talking about the Reggae Sumfest um thing where basically I went there to work, but I got to experience Reggae Sumfest night. I basically was paid to experience Reggae Sumfest, and not only that, I networked and I talked with a lot of big people in various places, like in the media, in the place that I dread the most, politics. But we talk to them there. Not really, uh, yeah, but and those are the opportunities that I took. Like basically, it was an opportunity. l- l- Many people will see as low class, but I made the most of that opportunity and got way more than the average person may would have thought to get from that same opportunity. So I think that last one is the last is the main point that I'm trying to get across. You're going for one thing, and sometimes I try to maximize on what you can get. Yeah, so that's the positive side, but there's a negative side now where, for example, to my university again, there was a lot of people that actually, they maximize on the opportunities that they have, but they neglect their core mission that they had. So basically, you go to the university to get a degree, but there are so many opportunities on the university that sometimes you forgot about the degree and end up staying longer than you initially planned. That kind of got me, if you remember, that I actually stayed an extra semester. But some people they stayed years after, paying way more, and that's because they took too much of the opportunity, and most of the opportunity may be negative opportunities. So that's one of the things. Maximize on the opportunities they are giving, but make sure they are good opportunities, not the bad ones. Because it was a bad opportunity that I took. And not really bad, but the opportunities that I take were not something to benefit me, but just to give me pleasure. It was basically partying more than actually doing actual stuff. So, like, right, I partied more at the university, while at the university there was a biochemistry society and a microbiology club that I never went to. So that's basically an example of what I'm talking about, where I went to the part. There's an opportunity to go to the party, or connect with people that can really help me in my science journey at biochemistry club or microbiology club. But I chose the party, so now I had to basically build my career by mostly by myself until I get the low key, I don't really want to get any notice. I just want to get my vision up. Then, then I can have the people judge and not judge. You know me? But, over time, those people will start to see me, make the judgment, but hopefully they have some money behind it, to can pay me. So I can rationalize all those stuff. But yeah, basically that's the episode. No, what I'm talking about. Make the most of the opportunity you're given. Sometimes you're going for one thing, and there's that one thing can open up so many more opportunities, and but it just you have to have that open-mindedness to see the different opportunities. Like it won't be there to you, it won't be there shown to you on a silver platter. It's you to have the vision to see the multiple stuff. So this episode is basically to tell you that, okay, like now, like after you listen to this episode, you're supposed to start view have a more open-minded view about the things that you're doing. See, you see more opportunities that the average person doesn't see, and that can make you give you the edge to really get you further than you thought you could ever go. Yeah. So that's basically it about this episode. Thanks for listening, and look forward for the next episode. Yeah, man.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
I know this episode came to me, and it coordinates so well now that but basketball is really kind of coming back where I'm at. It kind of coming back. They have like a new league now. You know, and one of my previous guests, my coach, is in the league. Yeah, doing this thing. Doing this thing, man. Doing this thing. He's on the rise. On the rise. But this episode we're gonna talk about, one of my basketball shoes, because if if you are listening to the podcast, I realize that my journey is mostly science based. So when I was actually dealing with sports now, to actually tell my family I'm doing sports, that was really not an easy thing, because as I said we were not really a rich family.